Hello everyone, welcome to an algebra tutorial learning about scientific notation, working with exponent properties, and being able to actually apply some of the mathematics we've been learning in this unit. So here I'm going to take a number in scientific notation and talk about, well, how do I take exponents of a number in scientific notation? So you can see I've got 6.37 times 10 to the negative 11th power, so I've got a very small number. But I also want to take the whole thing to the third power. So I'm taking the power of a small number in scientific notation. So let's talk about how we go about doing this. So with exponents, with this powers, the third power, since it's multiplied, everything inside is going to get the third power. I'm going to have 6.37 to the third power, and then I'm going to have 10 to the negative 11th, also to the third power. So like I have a whole group of things being multiplied and they all get the third power. So I'm going to rewrite this now then as 6.37 to the third power times 10 to the negative 11th, but that's also going to get the third power. All right, 6.37 to the third power, if I use my calculator to get that, I get 258. Let me write a little bit better, 5 there. 258.475. But now let's talk about how we approach this whole 10 to the negative 11th also to the third power. Well, here I've got two powers being affected, or number with two powers, so I'm going to use the power of a power property. And if you remember, that's almost saying I have three groups of 10 to the negative 11th. So I have 10 to the negative 11th times 10 to the negative 11th times 10 to the negative 11th. And what we do is we multiply the powers. There's multiplication involved. So 3 times negative 11 is going to make me have 10 to the negative 33rd power here. So I've got a very, very, very small number now, right? But that makes sense. A small number times itself, a small number times itself, a small number, a fraction of a fraction of a fraction, you end up getting a super small number. All right, so let's see what we got now. We've got 258.475 times 10 to the negative 33rd. It's a number, it's great, but it's not in scientific notation yet, is it? I need to take this whole first part and put it in a number between 1 and 10. So I've got to move the decimal after the 2 to get 2.58475. That's good. But now I have to adjust or account for my multiplication and my dealing with decimal places over here in the 10 to the negative 33rd. Well, essentially I took 258 and turned it into 2.58, right? So I divided it by 100. I'm taking 100 and factoring it out, and I'm taking that 100 and I want to move it over there. So I'm going to multiply that number over there by 100, and what the result is, I end up with times 10, but instead of negative 33, it's only negative 31 because I made it a little bit bigger. I multiplied it by 100. So my final resulting answer is 2.58475 times 10 to the negative 31st. And that's how you take a power of a power in scientific notation. Hopefully that's helpful for you. And that concludes this series on exponents and exponent properties.